Okay, so Travis are here and they're playing live for us. Their brand new album, LA Times, is out today. Lead singer Fran Healy has said of this album, LA Times is our most personal album since The Man Who. There was a lot of big stuff to write about back then. The tectonic plates had shifted in my life. I was 22 and I was writing those songs. They were my therapy over 20 years later, and the plates have shifted again. There's a lot to talk about. Give us the headlines of those subjects.
Well, you know, before The Man Who came out, there was lots and lots of things going on. My grandfather passed away, and that was huge. He was like my dad. We swapped the band around. Dougie wasn't in the band. We sort of got rid of guys, and then Dougie came in, and we moved to London. It was just loads of big stuff. And then you kind of settle it down. And then before this record, me and Nora separated after 25 years, and that was a huge big thing. A friend, one of my best friends, we lost. He was 50, and it was like out of the blue, and it's kind of, and we got our manager, shoo away. we cut ourselves. We got our band back type of thing.
Yeah, of course.
And it feels like it's come around again. The same, all these weird, big, giant things have happened, and I think it's kind of imbued into it's in all of the songs and the performances and the songs themselves. It's just got a shimmer, this record.
Things have to happen.
They do,
don't they? And things do happen. And we were talking about this yesterday. The strange thing about things happening, a friend of mine who's going through a tough time at the moment, and we were chatting about it, and you never know what to say, do you? You never know what to say. Am I saying the wrong thing? Shall I just give this guy a good listen to? Or then he stops talking and you chip in and you think, I don't know what to say here. I'm not qualified, and I said to him, it's funny because you talked about things happening, but when things happen, they only happen for a second, and it's everything that leads up to them happening for that second, and then everything that occurs as a consequence of that happening. But the happening and it's usually the happening that we fear, doesn't last that long.
No,
it's only a second. And somebody said to me the other day, if you are in fear of things happening, they probably already have. And it's the trauma from that you fear happening again. But with your music and your songs, it is this. You are blessed in as many ways as one can imagine, and you share your gifts with us, thank goodness. But you do get, as a musician, as an artist, you get this blessing of the therapy is helpful, it's creative, it's productive, and it benefits everybody else listening to the music as well as yourself writing. What's it like to be able to write it? I mean, you have to go through the pain. Write it, sing it, and then also get to hear it, and then get to share it with other people.
It's mad. It's like there's a lot of digging. There's a lot of just doodling, and you don't go into writing a song going, "Hey, I'm going to write a song about this." You just sort of it sort of comes out, and then you go, oh, it's about this, and then you sort of tells you what it's about as you're writing it. It's weird. It's this kind of weird discovery thing. But yeah, it's amazing. Singing, being able to sing, being able to sort of this thing coming out of you is, and you see it every night at the shows, like with everyone in the audience singing along. It is therapy. It's just like the best therapy ever.
Do you find that when you're in a better place, not a better place like, from a happiness point of view, from a better place as far as connection is concerned, do you think it automatically transmits to the audience like in an instant? Do they get it when you're more present? Are they more present? Is that the dream scenario?
Yeah, like for instance, there's little things that can go wrong on stage, as you know.
Yeah.
And they'll take you out of the gig a little bit. But when I talk about it like riding a horse. The horse is just like off when you get on stage.
Can you ride a horse?
No.
Okay.
I'm terrified of them.
Just checking.
And you get I call it getting your feet in the stirrups of the show. And sometimes it goes and you can't get your feet in the show, and you're just like, and it's going at like the clappers. And but sometimes you do. Most of the times you do, and you're in the zone with the audience.
Yeah, and then you're bareback, and then you're everything, aren't you? Let's go.
It's really, really good. So in answer to your question, it's
good. All right. Wow, there you go. That is track one from the brand new album, LA Times. I thought I heard a bit of XTC creeping in there, but am I right or not with that?
We love XTC.
Oh, so do I. I adore XTC.
We made our first album with Steve Lillywhite, who was their producer. So I mean, we have a bit of that DNA.
LA Times, track one, Combust, then you got Raise the Bar, Live It All Again, Gaslight, Alive, Home, I Hope That You Spontaneously Combust, Naked in New York City, The River, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, LA Times, and then if you download the album like I did today, you get all those tracks again, and they're called not Naked,
Stripped,
that's it, isn't it? It's great, isn't it? I like that.
Stripped and naked.
Stripped and naked. Stripped you are naked. Oh, back in the day. That's how we're celebrating your 30th anniversary in the band. Exactly. 1994 to 2024. How does it feel, Dougie?
Well, it feels just like it did back then.
You are late to the party, but I suppose the longer it goes, the less late that is comparatively.
Yeah, exactly. I'll always be the new boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like the old course and the new course at Sunningdale, isn't it? Because you go and get to play golf at Sunningdale, and they go, because you don't know which course you're going to be on, because you're just lucky to get to walk through the gates, let alone swing a golf club there. And they say, oh, you're on the new course. You go, oh, well, you want to go on the old course. Don't worry, the new course is 117 years old, and the old course is 119 years old.
It's like that.
And that's where you are.
Exactly.
You are the older the new course of rock and roll.
You never knew them.
So Neil, you are original member, founding member, 1990.
Andy?
So Andy is 1990. You, young man, 1991.
Yeah, I came in. Neil got me into the band. He said told me that they were looking for a singer, so I turned up and he hadn't told the band.
Right.
And they already had a singer.
So you're technically not a founding member.
No, I'm not.
Technically not a member.
Yeah.
Speaks the boss from the keyboards.
Yeah, I sort of turned up and they had the singer, the new singer, and so I asked, can I just come in and watch? And then I sat quietly behind the keyboard player, and the guy started singing, and I reached out and tapped him on the shoulder, and I was like, I'm much better than this guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, honest to God, you're making a big mistake.
Fear the bright-eyed kid who claims to just want to come and watch the show from the control room. I get it all the time. I know why you're here. I'm on work experience. No, you're not. You want my job. Yeah. And I don't blame you, because it's the best job in the world. Right, so we've got loads of lovely people who are enjoying what you're doing now. Kirsty says amazing. Followed them from the beginning. Travis, absolutely love seeing them live at Valley Fest last year. Sarah from Cheshire, Flowers in the Window, best song, favourite song of all time, giving me goosebumps again. Gail says Flowers in the Window, favourite song of all time, you sound amazing live. Kelly in Cumbria says, I was lucky to see Travis and the Killers a couple of weeks ago at the Co-op Live. Last time I saw them was around Andy's 30th birthday, just a couple of months ago, because we sang Happy Birthday, Haven't We All Aged Well? I went down the front for the first time in years and had a ball. Mike says, can't wait, going to see Travis at Fat Sam's in Dundee on Sunday.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
We're doing a little sort of, we call it a rock-up show. We just rock up and go for it. And it's like I think, what is it? You buy an album and you get a ticket
Something
for
like that.
And we do a little sort of kind of like this, but a little bit
it's
louder.
Like instead of an in-store, it's an out-store.
Yeah.
We
go
to a venue and kind of just do a thing to launch the record, and it's just a little show. And Fat Sam's is a great place.
Yeah.
All right, so little shows are lovely. They're wonderful. They're special things, but they're harder to get in. You can go and see Travis because there's a 12-day UK tour on the way, and it's the Christmas party that everybody wants to happen, because it starts on December the 5th in Leeds, and then the 6th in Manchester, the 8th of December in Liverpool, the 9th in Wolverhampton, the 10th in Nottingham, 11th in Margate, 13th of December London, the O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire. Room for a small one, please. Yes, thank you very much. Putting my hand up for that one, if you don't mind.
No problem.
I would love to come. What a great venue as well, Shepherd's Bush Empire.
I love Shepherd's
Come on.
It's one of the best.
It is one of the best. Bristol on the 15th of December, Eastbourne on the 17th. That's going to be a nice gig, isn't it? Eastbourne, by the seaside. Sheffield, 18th of December, Newcastle, 19th of December, and then the Glasgow Hydro, home for Christmas, 21st. What a night that's going to be.
The end of term Christmas party.
Oh my gosh. TravisOnline.com. If there's any tickets for those left, that's where you'll get them. This album is off the chain. LA Times. It's honestly a fantastic album. And Tilly's just been in. Tilly works on the show. She's been around gigs all her life. Her dad's been putting on gigs all her life, or his life rather. I know, therefore all her life. And Tilly's just said this. This is from Tilly, who works on the show. She's genuinely never seen so many lovely texts for a live band since we've been doing the show.
Wow.
Isn't that great? Isn't that so
nice.
cool?
Thanks,
so
Thanks.
much love for you.
Thank
OMG, how good does Fran still sound, says Sarah in South Wales?
at 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, I know. Sarah, you didn't need to use the word still. That's projection, Sarah. That is projection. You're thinking, if he can still do that, if they can still do that, then I can still do something I used to be able to still do. Paul, but it's true. It's all projection. It's like Paul McCartney's 81. He played Glastonbury last year. Yeah, we got 30 years to go till we get there. Well, I've got 20 years to go, but apparently Bruce Springsteen's still quite good. Sarah, why don't you text him? Bruce, you're still quite good. But no, Sarah, thank you. I know what you mean.
Thank you, Sarah.
I know what you mean, and I also know where it's coming from. Caught Travis at the O2 on Wednesday night where they were opening for the Killers. They totally smashed it. Turns out I knew every song. Who knew? The whole band had amazing voices and looked like they were having the time of their lives, says Judine in Hampshire. Let's talk about that. It was spooky. It's one of those days I was going to talk about this anyway. So, give us like a full-on, all the beans, full tilt moment from the first 10 years of you playing live, from the 90s, mid-90s, early noughties. And give us an idea of that experience, be as candid or as sort of discreet as you like, don't mind, before, during and after a gig, right? And then can you give us the comparison to now? Because it's different. I know, but it's different, but it's also the same. Because I don't drink anymore. I haven't drunk for 402 days, not forever, but it's, we'll see how it goes. Never say never, by the way, at all. But I have as good a time now doing the show as I did in the 90s. Yeah. But it's different. However, it might be better. It's definitely more sustainable. Sorry, this is, again, I'm not projecting. She's got me at it. Right, go on if you don't mind.
So yeah, I mean, a gig back then, we'd probably rock up to where would we be playing, like Rock City or something,
Yeah,
Nottingham
Rock City.
and the shows were wild. Like they were. I just always remember being backstage because everyone's got a cold, and you're breathing into one of these steam things that don't work. And never. They're like, they make you think you're gonna. And then you get in the bus. Like there's so much has happened on. We had the thing called the Golden Slug. It was like a splitter van. It was painted gold. And we had this tour manager who came. He was like he was everything. Yeah. The wheels fell off the back of this
literally the wheels came off.
Metaphorically and actually, yeah.
Literally. We saw them bouncing down the road.
Beautiful.
We watched them bounce past the van, and we're going, "What's the sparks?" And then
we're on fire. This band is on fire.
So many things. Like there was one time we were stuck in the thing, and Dougie, we couldn't stop because we were late for a show, and it was a very late show, and Dougie had to go to the toilet in a bottle in the back of the thing.
And it was a number two. That's the problem.
Oh, but it gets worse.
Sorry.
So I'm sitting at the front looking, going, oh no. And he's sort of, the thing is bumping about, and then the bottle comes back from the back of the bus.
And it gets really warm.
It's this bottle.
Don't tell me the
like
driver slams on the anchors.
No, Neil gets it, and as it's passing past Neil, he takes it, and he goes,
yeah.
And what does he say, Dougie?
Creamy.
Creamy, and then they hand it to me, and this thing is like a hot water bottle, and I'm like, what? Out the window.
Oh my gosh!
So that's kind of where we're at now.
And the gig,
we still are there.
Would it be fair to say then the gig sort of happened? Because when we were doing radio shows and TV shows, they just happened. We didn't. They were sort of one chapter from the 12-chapter week, as it were. Whereas now the show is the thing again, and it's great. I'm not saying it's any better or any worse. It's just different.
Well, and the thing is, as well, with us, we take great pride in this, is that we play it live. There's so much backing tracks right now in the music world. Yeah. And our thing is, when you go and see a band, you want to see it like they make mistakes. You want to see leads coming out and them stopping and it not being this.
How are they on the day?
There's a sort of polished professionalism at the moment that I'm kind of like, I'm the antithesis of. I love seeing a band just, that thing I keep talking about, rocking up. And we're very much like that. The Killers are very much like that. What you hear is what's coming off the stage.
Yeah, it's funny though, because when you are vulnerable and you're open to turbulence on stage, as it were, it makes, because you don't realise you're on a flight until you hit a bumpy patch, do you? That's the thing, and you don't realise things are like this are live. And people say, oh yeah, I did this show the other day, it was live, and a couple of things went wrong. So thank God, otherwise people people wouldn't know it's live. You know, and if you have that sort of fragility, then what is smooth is the energy, because the energy, real
right.
energy is smooth, whereas manufactured performance has a lack of palpability to the overall experience.
Yeah, it's true. You're seeing something happening for real.
And yeah.
Like the other night, I jumped off stage with my guitar and I garroted myself, and then the guitar stopped, everything stopped, and then at the end of this, I managed to get plugged back in again. At the end of the song, I was saying to this 18,000 people, "This is live music," and everyone's like, "Yeah," because it is, and it's,
and they want to be part of that.
Yeah, and it's super cool.
Yeah, and if the audience can sense that you're not quite sure what's going to happen, they're not quite sure what's going to happen, and that's what they pay the money for.
Yeah.
That's the deal, isn't it? Awesome. I know you got to be on a plane somewhere soon. You're going somewhere.
We're going home, Chris.
You're going home.
We're going back to Glasgow.
Football's coming home. You know that.
Oh, I've heard a rumour.
You are going to win.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I've resigned myself to that fact.
God bless you, Dougie. God bless you.
I might even put a bet on just to soften the blow.
Alan Brazil did this. You know, Alan Brazil bet against Scotland in the opening game.
No, it's the Switzerland game that they actually drew.
Yeah, because he said clearly we're going to lose, so I might as well win the bet. And then something else happened as well. He did a similar bet, and that didn't. He kept betting against what he wanted to happen, so it would underwrite it not happening, and then it happened. And then he stopped betting on what he didn't want to happen, and then it did happen. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's all right. He gets a few quid over there. It's time for the news, but I'm all right with the news. Should we have another Travis song instead?
This is the news.
This is the news. LA Times is out today. You can buy tickets if there are any left for Travis's upcoming Christmas tour, because it is a Christmas tour and there's nothing wrong with that. TravisOnline.com. These lovely people here from our festival, Carfest, which you've never played.
We have.
Yeah, no, I know, not since we've changed it. We do this one big festival now. So you haven't played it since we've rebooted it. Can we have that conversation for next year?
Yes.
Yeah, is that all right? Because we would love, wouldn't we? Yeah. In fact, there's paper and pens here, and we can. That would be wonderful. Honestly, we would love you to headline next
You've
year.
got to get us to sign something right now.
Yeah, is that all right?
I'll draw up the contract, you person.
All right. Thank you very much. Wonderful to have them. One more time, Travis, everyone.
Cheers.
Peace and love.